Hey, we're here with Georgia Lansing. She's here. She's one of the mediums at the Casadega Hotel. Would you like to tell us more about what you do here?
Well, basically, I'm a straight psychic clairvoyant. I'm also an astrologer and a Kabbalist. So what I do is I sit down and I give people readings. I have my own kind of clairsentience, and I get impressions about people, and sometimes I get impressions about people around them. I get impressions as I walk through the hotel and things like that. For the most part, nothing really meddles with me in my space.
Okay.
But if I were to try to maybe read outside, I'm going to get other stuff. I tried to read in another room once, and I was picking up all kinds of other stuff from that room. I don't know, did you guys get in 21?
No, we didn't.
No, we were in 25 or 26 though.
Yeah, but that's kind of active. But that's basically what I do. You've got these two energy levels that are then going to be kind of mixing together, and you'll feel that. Just like when you stand next to a refrigerator, you're picking up an energy source next to you. Your body doesn't really know how to register it, but like if you get any near a speaker or anything, you ever like got at a rock concert, you know, your arms, your hair stands straight up and vibrate. So that's kind of what happens.
Because one time, like several times, I'll be given an interview, and there'll be the person's loved ones in the room, and then they'll start touching me, or they're trying to get my attention, and then I'll redirect a question sometimes, and that's what they wanted me to do.
And sometimes the spirit contact will also kind of feel like spider webs, like you've got spider webs on you, you can't get them off.
But I notice myself on film a lot. You see me doing this a lot, and I'm like, oh, I know what I'm doing. People are like, oh, Wanda's itchy. No, it's just because people are they're near me, or they're trying to get my attention, or they want me to redirect and go in a different direction.
Yeah. There's not really much difference between, say, a psychic and a regular person, other than maybe my vibration might be a little bit higher, so I'm forced to pay attention to it. But I think everybody picks up on it.
I think, yeah, pretty much. I think so too.
My chest for no apparent reason, and my hair don't stand up straight.
Do you feel hot?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's usually a negative.
Okay. That I got that.
When I feel like a negative presence, I will splotch completely out. Like I've got hives, and my ears will get bright red, and I will get a heat sensation right here.
Right.
But I get sick in my stomach.
And as soon as I leave, it's fine. If I like just walk away.
Sometimes I feel that way, but usually not so much anymore that I'm grown.
Like, I've been around two really bad dark entities in my life. First of all, when I was in that one room, I couldn't breathe. I felt like someone was sitting on my chest.
Yeah.
But one time I was around a human that was bad, and I couldn't get away fast enough to throw up. I mean, I couldn't even be next to it. I was this close to the person, and I was going to throw up.
Yeah, it was a small area.
And so,
try to get out small
a
areas.
human entity, or
no, a human person,
Yes.
a living human person that's evil.
Yeah.
I cannot be around them at all. Like,
now,
not even in the same.
Here's the thing: before you say that they're evil, okay? Just to give you my perspective, take it or leave it, whether it plays into what you guys are doing or you want to go. I'm a Kabbalist, okay? So we're programmed to receive. So from my perspective, and I explained this to you in the meeting, is that when you get a negative energy, nobody ever wakes up and says, gee, I think I'm going to be a psychopath. Nobody ever wakes up and says, gee, I think I'm going to be a crackhead. What happens is, have you ever had a song in your head?
Yes.
So I'll repeat this to her, just like I said to you. So you ever found it on the radio and went, oh, isn't that funny?
Yeah.
You picked up a signal. You didn't make the radio play it. So the difference between a psychic and, say, a drug addict may be discernment. I know what's me and what's not me. And so through willpower, I don't give into that. I buck it and go on about my day. But if you've got somebody that's got this negative kind of presence about them, I'm not going to use the P word or anything politically incorrect like that.
I understand.
It's like an octopus that's wrapped up around their head.
Okay.
So that tentacle might reach out and try to push on you too, because usually when you've got it, it doesn't just affect that one person. Watch Intervention. We use drug addiction again as an example. It affects everyone around the course. So naturally it affects you. If you're sensitive to it, and even if you pick up on it, and then you're like, then it might push a little harder to make you go away.
True.
Do you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you're talking about. And even when I'm around a dark entity, the only thing I feel is like pressure on my chest, like I can't breathe. Like when
Heat.
we were
Heat in particular is
we were in that room where that dark entity was by Robin's apartment, which the girl's moving because I told her to move.
There's a lot of dark entities in her.
I said, I don't usually tell someone this, but you need to move.
That's my good friend Robin.
But it was oppressively bad. Like, as soon as you went in this one room.
Did she do anything to try to cleanse it? You know, I mean,
it's not her room. It's not her apartment.
It's not her apartment.
It's her neighbor's apartment. But you walk into the room, somebody's sitting on your chest immediately.
But see, if her door is open and their door is open, like in the summertime, and that's what was happening, that evil was going into her apartment. So I told her, keep your door closed, and then if you can't do that, then you probably need to just relocate.
Or smudge on a regular basis and sea salt.
Right.
sage.
Why
we
it
try-
works,
we-
I
we've
couldn't
been
even
cleansing
imagine
it.
to tell you how that
Yeah.
works, but it does work. It
Right.
works for the Hopi Indians, it works for
Right.
most Native Americans, it works in Ayurvedics, it works for us.
Mhm.
So,
I've used the sea salt a lot. And
Sea
then
salt
we
is one
did
of
the
those.
sage, you know, and then I told her get some sage candles, just get something, you know.
another thing is fresh flowers.
Really?
I know, yeah, I'm with you on that.
Fresh flowers, bright, colorful citrus smells, lemons, oranges,
Mhm.
lavenders.
Mhm.
I wouldn't go so far as to say frankincense and myrrh,
Right.
but you know what I mean?
Those
Changing, all those things change the vibration of a room.
Right.
If they can change the way you feel when you walk in there,
Right.
then they're actually physically doing something. The camp's pretty uptight.
They're very, very stringent. They're very uptight about you walking around. You know, I don't know. Maybe they've had people probably negatively come in here and vandalize or something.
Well, and they've
like
also
that.
had, you know, it's also the cameras too. They've had plenty of people that have shed them into a negative light.
Right.
So, but the streets are still public thoroughfares.
Right. Right.
Down by Spirit Lake, that's still a public area. And honestly, the most pictures that I've ever seen of orbs around Spirit Lake, which is that dried up dead lake back there,
We got
are in the morning.